What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Driscoll Decoded. My name is Angela, and I am your host for this podcast.
My name is Tori, and I'm your co-host for this podcast today.
So today, we're going to be doing a lot of debunking here. So as we know, social media, websites, everything like that, we're just scrolling, and especially on social media, we never know where the information is coming from, who is saying it. Some people can be saying that I'm a doctor, I'm a physician, I'm a therapist, anything, and we're just going to believe what they're saying. And so today we're welcoming back Dr. Carmen Martinez, dental director for Driscoll Health Plan. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So welcome back, Dr. Martinez. I'm glad we have a credible source here today. That is you. And we're going to be talking about fluoride and the conversation surrounding fluoride, what you see. Fluoride is bad, fluoride is good, it lowers IQ, everything of that nature. So let's actually just get right into it.
All right.
So fluoride, we found some studies that we want to show you, and we want to hear your opinions or your thoughts about it.
Sure.
Okay, so simple Google search. All I input into Google was dangers of fluoride, just to see what it would give me.
Sure.
Yeah.
So toxicity of fluoride, critical evaluation of evidence, water fluoridation and cancer risk, the dangers of fluoride, what you need to know, fluoride, risks, uses, and side effects. Can you have too much fluoride? 6 dangers of fluoride treatments. But if we go over to National Toxicology Program of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, in their studies, we find that the determination about lower IQs in children was based primarily on epidemiology studies in non-U.S. countries. All of those articles I just mentioned to you were based in America. In these non-U.S. countries such as Canada, China, India, Iran, Pakistan, and Mexico, where some pregnant women, infants, and children received total fluoride exposure amounts higher than 1.5 milligrams of fluoride per liter of drinking water.
So Tori, what's the title of that?
So the title of this one from the National Toxicology Program is Fluoride Exposure, Neurodevelopment and Cognition.
I think a lot of what happens is, just like as an average user, we see that and we're like, oh my goodness. And then we go off into our own thought of how we, trying to understand that, and then going on like TikTok, which is somewhat the new Google.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we put that in and everybody's opinions come up, rather than what she just did was read the article and we found out that it was non-US countries doubling the amount of safe fluoride.
For sure.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think we all go into self-preservation.
Mhm.
Like, that's dangerous.
True.
Not with my
Yeah.
kid, not with us. We're not going to do that, which is what I think we all would do as moms, as parents. But going back to your point, it's understanding what the article is saying. It's like, where did this come from?
Yep.
Who put it out there?
Yeah.
For example, if an article is written by a scientist, okay, they're doing research on a certain product. Is it written by, groups for, fluoride, elimination? Okay, well, we know there's going to be a side to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it always depends, like, who's telling you.
Yep.
Kind of like, it almost turns into gossip. Like, who's telling you this?
Yes. An
Who's your
opinion
source?
piece.
Right.
Yeah.
If I like you, I might say something nice about you. If I don't, what are we going to say? Right?
Right.
So it's
No,
the
that's
same
true.
thing with certain things.
Mhm.
Fluoride is one of those things that, for whatever reason, have picked up in the not so liked category. And as a dentist, that concerns me because it's really important what fluoride does. And fluoride's been around for a very long time. And it's scientific based. There's a logic to it. There's a science to it. And I think when people understand what fluoride does, I think they can make their own decisions if they want to provide this for themselves and for their kids.
So what is fluoride and why is it important to us?
Okay, well, fluoride,
Mhm.
how far back do you want me to go? Because there's only so much.
Well,
let's say this. Fluoride or fluorine is on the periodic table, right? Remember that chart you saw in high school chemistry? Okay,
Yes.
It's one of those. So it's part of our earth. It's part of our world. You can't get away from it, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it is in our water, whether we want it to be or not.
Mhm.
It's in our rocks. It's in our soil. It's in buildings. It's in concrete because it's just part of our earth. I think that's the easiest way to put it. Like it's in our, it's everywhere.
Naturally occurring.
Naturally occurring element. So it's around, but it's at such a low level. So it's something that is like anything else, whether it be good for you or bad, like calcium or lead, it's around, it's everywhere, right? So it depends on the level that you have. So I think in the early 1900s, they found that fluoride was found in certain areas, and they realized there was less dental decay or tooth decay, cavities, whatever your word is for your teeth going rotten, is what they found. So they're like, wait a minute, maybe there's something to this. So they found ways to extract it, make it into a certain level, and they found out this level, which is 0.7 parts per million, which is less than 1. So it's a very, very small amount, which is a safe amount that is also effective in preventing tooth decay. So this has been used mainly in dentistry, obviously, because we're the teeth people. So we promote this, we push it. We want people to take this because we know, and it's been proven, that it will protect your teeth.
Okay.
Now, how it protects it, I think is also important to know, because then you know, like, well, how does this work? Like, what's fluoride doing to my teeth?
Yeah.
So if you can picture your tooth almost, it has different levels, right? So we got all these different levels inside our tooth. So inside the center is like your nerves and your blood supply. So it's housed, it's your protected or your vital part of your tooth, right?
Okay.
It's live. The outside is your enamel. That's almost like a helmet. It's not vital. There's no blood supply to your enamel. That's why it can't grow back. So if you lose enamel, whether your tooth breaks, whether a dentist drills too much away, or you get a cavity, that enamel is gone. So enamel is, like I said, like a helmet or like a shield outside your tooth. So that's what helps prevent or protects our teeth, I should say.
Okay.
So when bacteria that lives in our mouth all the time mixes with the food we eat, mainly carbohydrates or sugars, it all mingles together and it makes an acid. That acid is what comes to the enamel and it tries to break its way in. So it's going in there, trying to make a hole, break through, and that's what is your cavity, right? A cavity is a hole. That's a generic word for like a hole,
Gotcha.
Cavity of anything, right? So it's tooth decay, it's a rotting out. So now your enamel that's hard, like it's like a rock or like a shield, now gets to feel like mashed potatoes because it's just eating its way through, and it's soft and it's dark and it's filled with bacteria and acid. And that's what a cavity is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that sounds so great, but that's what happens. So when you take fluoride in, when fluoride comes in either through the varnish that your physician or your dentist puts, through your toothpaste, through gels or foams that your dentist also recommends, what that does is the outside of your enamel becomes reinforced. So picture it like you had a helmet and it was made out of, I don't know, give me something hard. I don't know.
Hard, like metal.
Okay, metal.
Yeah.
All right. So you have this metal shield outside your tooth. So when it comes in, it takes a little bit to get that acid to break it down.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
When you put fluoride, that fluoride mixes with that helmet, the outside metal, and now it's like titanium. So now it's just harder to get in. Can you still get cavities? Yes. It's just a lot harder to break into that.
It's like a barrier.
It's a barrier.
Okay.
Because it mixes with that outer layer of your tooth. All right. So to get
really
technical,
cool.
your enamel is made out of something called hydroxyapatite. Has calcium, has phosphorus, it has all these other great stuff in it. But that's the name of what composes your enamel. When you take the fluoride mixes with the hydroxyapatite, removes part of that, and now it's fluoroapatite. So the fluoride locks itself in there, makes a harder barrier. So it's more difficult to bust in. So when that army of acid is just coming to your teeth, and you don't have fluoride, okay, your body, because your saliva will help clean your mouth, your saliva will help move things around. You brush your teeth, it goes away, that's great.
Yeah.
But when you put fluoride in there, it's like reinforcement. It's almost like you zhuzhed up your army. So now you have even a better protection of layer, a layer of protection. With that being said, for those kids who maybe have a difficult time brushing their teeth, or the families who have a hard time maybe getting a toothbrush in their home, that can happen too. When you put fluoride on the teeth, especially in the fluoride varnish method, because it's sticky and it stays on better. When it's like that, even if you can't brush or you're not brushing, you have a better resistance against cavities. So it's always good to push it. We push it as dentists because we want your teeth healthy.
Right.
We want baby teeth to be healthy
Yeah.
and they can move on to their adult teeth. We want adult teeth to be healthy because we want you to live to be 99 years old and have your teeth that you had when you turned, 8 years old when your permanent teeth are coming in. So there's so much to it. So for us as dentists, who anybody in the healthcare profession or scientists in a way, we want you to do well. We want you to live longer. We don't want you scared. And if it was something dangerous or bad, I guarantee you, I think a lot of professionals would be on that bandwagon to say, listen, this is not good, or let's switch it. Let's change it.
Yeah.
Maybe that 0.7 parts per million, maybe that's too much. Maybe we need to do a 0.5, or they would figure something out. But to go strictly on some, clickbait title, that's the part that is concerning to anybody in healthcare.
Definitely.
Because we don't want you scared. We don't want you afraid. Most healthcare providers should not have any agenda other than making you better, making you healthy. So
I saw a video before today, and it was a girl just giving a rant about how she water flosses or washes her mouth. She brushes her teeth. She doesn't eat a lot of sugar. She eats very well. And she went to the dentist and she has like X amount of cavities. And she's like, how am I doing fluoride and still getting cavities? What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so that's a really good angle. Mm-hmm. So cavities come from different forms. One of them is you need bacteria to make a cavity. Okay. Some people just carry more bacteria in their mouth than others. It doesn't make you dirty. It doesn't make you sick. It's just how your body holds bacteria. We know we're covered in it, right? Head to toe, we're covered in different types of bugs everywhere all the time. Yep. Some just keep more. There's a couple of strains of bacteria that are known to make cavities. Some people naturally house more. Wow. So let's say you can never brush your teeth and you eat sugar all night long and you just bathe in soda and you never get a cavity. And I think of a gummy bear and my mouth is rotten, possibly because I carry more bacteria that causes decay. So that's something that you don't know you have until you have it. Like no one knows, okay. Oh, well, I keep a lot of bacteria. And that's not anything that you really want to tell people. Because that sounds like, well, I have a lot of bacteria. Yeah. Well, yeah, but that just might be how your mouth is housed. It's what's living in you. So you can have a little bit, you can do all these things and you can still get cavities. And that's, again, too, nothing of these things prevent 0%, cavities. You can still get them. It just really reduces your chances. Now, going into what a cavity is and what isn't, that's always been a conversation among dentists. Oh. Because some can just feel a little sticky part on your tooth. We have these little instruments that we go. And so it always looks like we have sharp, scary things, right? But the sharp thing is to go and kind of touch and feel around to see what areas. Remember how I said a tooth is like a rock or like metal? But when you start getting a little bit of cavities, it gets soft. And it gets sticky before it breaks into and gets all mushy like the mashed potatoes I was talking about. Yeah. So that's
such
how
a visual.
So and I guess I want you guys to understand this because or people understand because then you're like, oh, that's what happens. Like a cavity. Well, yeah, it's a rotten part of your tooth that's soft and mushy. And that's why you need us to take it out. Scoop out all the bad parts, fill it up with a plastic material. It's not tooth, but it's biocompatible, so it works in your body, and that's what fills it up. So when you get a filling, it's because they scooped out all the mashed potato parts, all the rotten parts. See, are people not going to want to eat mashed potatoes anymore? Sorry.
I am
but just
rethinking my lunch
idea,
here,
You're like,
mashed potatoes for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we have time till Thanksgiving, so I think we'll be okay there.
Oh, we'll be good.
But just to give you an idea that, because we want our teeth hard. So any soft, weak spots, we want to remove those and fill them back up with hard parts, right? Because we're chewing and we're grinding and we're talking. We want, we want it all healthy. So going back to this girl, it could possibly be too, you get one little soft spot, that's a cavity. So that happens too. So then you have dentists who are like, we're going to watch that. We're just going to sit and watch. It's just starting and it can stay that way for a month, a week, a year, 2 years. Or sometimes when you go back again 6 months, boom, that one little cavity took off. And it really migrated to close to the center of the tooth, which that's the part we're trying to protect. Yeah. So we don't know. That's why it's good to go and follow up. Yeah. And going back to patient advocacy, this is the one thing that we push here is ask questions. You don't ever have to give into treatment you don't want to. You can say, hold on, if it's a tiny cavity, can we just watch it? Can we just see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
And even with the kids, right with those white spots, those demineralization, like just the start of a cavity is those white spots on kids' teeth. If you put fluoride varnish on there, it can reverse. It can build it back up. So you have a chance to save that tooth from breaking down if you get the fluoride, because the fluoride, again, enters that top layer of enamel and it reinforces it. It makes it stronger.
Gotcha.
So there's so much to this. This isn't just slather your mouth with fluoride and we'll see you in 6 months.
Yeah.
This is why. This is what's been shown. So I do feel like when a healthcare provider takes time to talk to the patient, I know this takes quite an extensive, but once you're knowledgeable and once you hear this, then I feel like you can make a better decision for yourself and for your family.
No, for sure.
So fluoride, I think it's good. I use it. I put it with my child. I put it with my family. Like everyone, I push it. My nephews and nieces absolutely have it, even if it means we have to hold them down and because they're running all over the place and they don't want anything in their mouth, but we make that happen.
So with kids under a certain age, so like of course at 6 months, that's when we start encouraging to take your kids to the dental or whenever they get their first tooth.
Sure.
So I was looking at their toothpaste and it said like this is safe to swallow. Why for them in that toothpaste is it safe to swallow for them, but then like in our toothpaste it's not recommended to swallow or to take it in so much. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So a lot of times with the baby toothpaste, they don't put fluoride in it. So that's why they say it's safe to swallow. Now, is fluoride dangerous to swallow? No. But if you don't need to swallow it, why would you? So that's why there's a lot of warnings to it. Like, why take in something more if you don't need to?
Yeah.
Anything that tastes good, kind of like children's Tylenol. It tastes like cherry. So like they don't want to keep it, right? Because you don't want to ingest it more than you have to because it's not good. Same thing here. You don't want to swallow toothpaste. You want to get in the habit of doing that. We're going to swallow some already. So things are already made to where they know you're going to take some. Like they know this is going to happen. We just want to prevent this becoming a usual routine. So for little babies, that's why fluoride varnish has been created. And I think that's an excellent product to use because it's sticky. It stays where you are. So you lower the risk.
Get that at
it's
dentals.
It's
dentist
a prescription.
Dentist. It's the dental office.
So dental office or your PCP, your physician's office, like your pediatrician. Should have it in their office, and they should be providing that. And I know the state of Texas covers a program from the ages of 6 to 35 months for your pediatrician to be able to put fluoride varnish.
So start at 6 months?
Start at 6. As soon as you get a tooth, you are vulnerable to cavities.
Got it.
So we think, oh, they're babies, they don't know. But one of the biggest things that happens is that mom's saliva crosses to baby. And that could be when some moms, when
like
a
put the
pacifier
passy
falls
and
on
then
the floor or something, and mom thinks that her mother majestic saliva is going to make it so clean and great. So she'll clean it and she'll give it to baby. Sometimes they'll blow on food or smush on food. And they give it to baby.
That's crazy.
Mom to baby, brother and sister, they're fighting over the same toy and they put it in their mouth and they give it to them. So it's cross-contamination, if you will. So this precious little baby, it has a little tooth sticking out. You're vulnerable. Now, does it happen? Rarely, because they're so little. But this is why we have to start clean. As soon as we we see teeth,
Angela's
take
just
them
like
to the
thinking
dentist.
about all of her choices.
It's flashing back. It's a montage of everything.
That's so funny.
Get a little towel. I always say, let's get a little washcloth, wet it, and just rub it, clean it between feedings, before a nap. Things like that. And what that does too for the baby is it gets them used to having something in the mouth. That's what we want. Yeah. So
I'm glad you're saying this, and I love that you put in that line of you don't feel guilty, don't feel bad.
No.
But it's so true though. Like it makes sense. Like I feel like it fills in the holes that like, well, how does this happen? How does that happen? But it's true. Because one thing is like, oh, mom's saliva is fine. Pick up the passy and give it to them, and it's okay. And then blowing on the food, and oh my gosh,
daycares. Because the kids are fighting over things, or I shouldn't say fighting, but they put things in their mouth, and another kid will grab that toy and put it in their mouth. So you can't run from this. Like it's ubiquitous, right? Bacteria is everywhere. You can't come from it. This could happen. So the best we can do It's just know these little things.
Yeah.
Make changes that are going to make us better for that and help prevent it. And there you go. And if it happens, it's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish I could say this will 100% take cavities away. It won't. There's nothing. Nothing is a sure deal. But if you get into these habits, your risk is lowered.
Gotcha.
How about that?
Well, I think it's important. One more thing to add to that before we move on. I think it's important to have these discussions and have a platform such as this because it's easy to feel that mom guilt when you're scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Instagram, and all of these moms have their own opinions and you really shouldn't be doing that for your baby. You should be doing this. When in all actuality, is that based on anything factual or scientific? You know?
I like that you mentioned that because I feel, and not just as a dentist, but as a mom, you know, we want to win, right? We want to be good. We want to do great, right? You don't want to add any kind of problems or issues to your child. So I respect that. But I also know that in today's world with social media, those who are putting these out there, some of this is their career. Some of them make a living off of making creative content.
Right.
And so, and there's no regulation in it, right? So you can say whatever you want, whenever you want. And you're always going to find someone who's going to agree with you. And that's with anything. So you're going to make your own following and you're going to have people who believe what you believe, and that's okay. But anybody who's maybe new to that source of information, anybody who's just walking in saying, you know, I never questioned fluoride before, but now I see it a lot. Let me see. All I ask is just do your homework, do your research, ask questions, dig around. If everything seems to be one way, try the flip side and just see. And then from there, make your decision, right? If everything's leaning toward one direction, maybe do your homework and find something. Well, what would be the alternative to this? Or what's the alternate side of it? And then when you do that, and I feel that way with everything right now in our world, question, use critical thinking skills to go back and think, okay, does this make sense? Or who's telling me this? If it's a neighbor of mine who's doing this, who's hated the dentist her whole life or his whole life, who is resentful. Maybe she had a boyfriend who was a dentist and now she's jealous and mad. I don't know. You know, them dentists, you know, but, or maybe there has to be some kind of motivation. Like, what's your motivation?
Is it like a firm stand, like a firm foundation of like what
like
you're preaching over here?
Right. Are you just saying it because it gets you clicks? Are you just saying it because you truly believe this? Do you have anything scientific to back it up? Are you just wanting to get attention? I don't know. So, and that's for anything. So just ask questions. And the people who do go see their dentist or their doctors or their chiropractors or their optometrists or any kind of provider for them, you can always ask them questions. If they get defensive, maybe that's not your provider. Because they need to be here for you. And that's the one thing I will always push is patient advocacy. You have to advocate for yourself. If you have questions, please ask. If you need to, you know, deeper, longer explanations, please let us know because we want you to make the best decision for you and for your children or for your ailing father that you're taking care of or your mother. You know, this is just important across the board. If you start believing everything you see and hear and read.
To get the record straight, in the U.S., there's that benchmark of 0.7, what was that?
Parts per million or milligrams per liter.
Okay, milligrams per liter. Yes. So we have that benchmark here in the U.S. So when we're doing any further research, if we see, you know, 1 point something or 1 point, or even like 1.8, like, you know, that's not the benchmark for the U.S. where we're currently living in. Is that correct?
So let's go back to that article you're talking about. So I did find an article like fluoride is connected to lower IQs in children. Yeah. Holy cow! Like what's happening here? So I clicked. I subscribed to that website. So I could like, well, what is this article about? What are they saying? So when I read it, and it said that this study was done in other countries. So this isn't even an American thing. This is like, you know, in Mexico, Canada, Iran, or the other ones?
Pakistan, China,
India, which is so far away from us. And so,
across the pond.
Right. So that alone, like, all right, that doesn't.
Well, that is concerning. Like,
absolutely.
Right. We can be concerned for that.
We are concerned.
Yes.
Like, we can be concerned. And can I also say this, though? We're concerned, but we also need to know how did that fluoride lower your IQ? Like, what did it do?
Yeah.
Like, what did the fluoride do? Like,
How did we
Tell me
figure
how
out
scientifically
that it came from the
like if it says
fluoride?
like, oh, the element gets into your brain and it does blah blah
It's
blah,
this
or
neuron
right. If they
blah,
had something
yeah.
like that, I'm like, oh, okay, well that kind of makes sense. If it's just like,
Yeah.
well, it just so happens these group of people we studied happens to be near a pond that has a lot of fluoride in it. If that's your correlation, that's not really science. Like I said,
Yeah.
Like,
it
were
could be
tests
anything.
done? Did y'all test like IQ before and after, or where was
Right.
that? When was that before?
Right, yeah.
Absolutely. Or
Mhm.
they all happen to have red shirts on. Maybe the color red causes lower, like,
Yes.
what could it be? It
Mhm.
could be anything. So why fluoride was the bad guy here, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Having double the level of what's recommended for fluoride in
Yeah.
your water in those areas, yes, that could be concerning. However, I do believe there's a larger margin for it to become like toxic. So there's a
Okay, yeah.
higher number. So even if it's doubled, it's bad. That's not what we want. But I believe there's still more of a margin of protection there for it to really cause some sort of problem.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know that, it sounds like, oh, well, you know it because you're a dentist and you read these things. Well, no, but I also know the articles I do read on things, I do want to sort it out. Like, I do want to find out, like, but
Right.
why? And
Yeah.
now, again, if it's celebrity gossip, pop culture stuff, I'll read it.
Oh,
Like,
you're
I didn't
all
question
in.
it. I'm going to read it all.
Yeah.
But when
All
it
in, girl.
right, but when it comes to our health,
Yeah.
our, the safety of our families when they're taking certain medications or supplements, yeah. And that's another thing that will take me out there is supplements. There's a lot of these TikTok groups and other groups that push supplements. We don't know a lot about those things.
Yeah.
Essential oils. We don't know a lot about those things. Those can be helpful in certain things, but we don't know a lot. So I think with that same energy that we're questioning things that we know work, like fluoride,
Yeah.
let's question everything. Let's just, and I shouldn't say question it in a way that you quickly diminish it. Just
Right.
do your research.
Yeah.
And whatever works for you and your family, stay on it.
So I saw that there is a warning, not a warning label, but verbiage on toothpaste. So like, so much consumption of this will cause this. I wasn't too sure. I saw like in a video. Let me clear that up. In a video, that if you look on every toothpaste, it says excess amount of this toothpaste will cause another thing. So do you think like people are getting that misconstrued with fluoride? And
If you swallow too much,
Yeah.
well, how much is
How
too
much
much?
is too much?
Yeah.
Is it the whole tube? Is it
Yeah.
half the tube? Did they
Are you
give
just
any-
like,
two
right? Are we just munching out on fluoride? Or like, I'm kind of hungry today.
I
that's
feel like a
my
lot of-
favorite nighttime
Hey,
snack.
listen, I just want some Colgate on a cracker, a little snack before bed.
I
Does
feel
that
like
count?
people think like toothpaste is like it's toothpaste and it's just fluoride. And
yeah, like they
so-
think it's straight up.
But there's
That's it.
That's it.
there's other chemicals and everything else, and maybe there's something in there that could cause that too. That's a good question. I can say I don't know. I don't know what exactly you're trying to prevent in there, and also too, I don't know what the regulatory rules are. For example, they might say for you to have this element, you have to put a warning label. For you to be able to use this,
Oh,
you're gonna have to
okay.
put this
Gotcha.
out.
Mhm.
And everybody is in a world. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. If you could take this out of you, there's called a CYA clause. Cover your beep. So for legals,
Ooh.
so they call it a CYA clause. So everything is
Yeah.
just put it there just in case, so you don't
Like
get
disclaimer.
disclaimer. You don't get pushed back.
Totally.
So liability. Everybody has a cousin who's an attorney or something, and so you want to make sure that to minimize litigation, to minimize fault, they have to put it. Everything's take care of your own risk. You go to Disneyland, you go to Fiesta, Texas, you get in this roller coaster. If you have heart problems, don't get on this. Why am I going to die? Probably not, but we
But
don't want to get
in
sued if
case
you
you
do. So
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
some things they might say, well, if you keep this much of this property, whether it be the fluoride or potassium nitrate or whatever else is in that, they might say you have to put this warning label. So
Okay.
I don't know what that is,
Yeah.
So
that supports your, ask the questions.
Yes.
Like not everything is one-sided. Let's figure out what's on the other side of everything. Build a relationship with your dentist like you would with your provider. And also not every provider, not every dentist is going to be for you. It's not going to be your
Absolutely.
fit. If you're fine with, short answers and just getting straight to the point, then that provider and dentist will be great for you. But if you're more looking for in-depth questions, in-depth answers and, you know, reasonable explanations and everything like that, then find one that's perfect for you.
For sure. For sure. Because that's part of our job. It isn't just drilling and filling.
Yeah.
You know, it's educating you and helping you make the best decision. And again, you will find the ones who really want to help you and help you answer it. We don't have all the answers. We just want to help guide you.
Yeah.
The ones who don't, okay, then find another and find them. And that sounds unfortunate because it feels like you have to jump around, but you have to find your right fit, especially even when it comes to pediatricians. You have to find the one that fits for you. You have questions about breastfeeding, you have questions about vaccines, you have questions about anything, you know, find your right provider, find the one that's going to answer it for you, find the one that's going to help support you, and then make your decision from there.
Yep. Real quick, and before we really go into the last segment, what do you think, or what are your thoughts about those providers or those dentists that say, like, nope, fluoride is not it?
Good question.
Again,
do not support it.
You know, we had something similar to this when amalgam fillings were getting so much attention. The silver fillings? You remember? You guys are so young.
The silver fillings.
Silver teeth?
Silver filling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so they're not.
So yeah, it's an old people problem, guys. So back in my day, we had silver fillings, and they're amalgam fillings, and it's a mixture of all these different kind of metals. And one of the elements in there is mercury. Holy cow! People lost their stuff, right? They're like, mercury, there's mercury poisoning. So you had some dentists who probably made a killing off of doing amalgam fillings forever, now jumped on this bandwagon like, yeah, we have to remove every silver filling in your mouth and put the composite, which is a plastic resin material that they put in there, in its place, the tooth colored filling in its place, because this is dangerous. And then it came out later with these composite fillings that there was a bisphosphonyl A in it, the BPA, the lining there in the cans that people were. So you can't win in dentistry, right? It seems like there's always something dangerous or bad. But what I'm saying is you're going to have providers in that category, like dentists for this, that are going to be like, no, this is bad. This is my stance. This is what I believe is wrong, and I want to fix it. And you're gonna find your niche. You're gonna find your group of patients who stand with that and do that. That's okay. Now, the FDA did say these amalgams are fine, and it is considered unethical to remove a silver filling unless something's wrong with it. If it's good, it's in great standing, and you remove it just because of that, that's considered unethical. So that goes to show it's easy to get scared. It's easy to get on these bandwagons and be like, no, this is bad, this is dangerous. But you know, unfortunately, and I didn't create this stuff. I mean, it blows my mind sometimes the materials that we use in dentistry for certain things. Yeah, a lot of them can be toxic on their own, but we're trained professionals. Okay, like we had many years of training to use this. We know how to use it. We would never want to do anything to hurt you or harm you, right? So, and I say that across the board. Anybody who's doing anything, you have to trust your surgeons when you're getting heart surgery. Yes. When you're taking your child to get a certain surgery, you're praying to God that everything is good. Their hands are steady. The materials they're using are clean and safe and good. So you have to have that same kind of faith in the healthcare system. So it comes down to, you can do as much as you need to in your background, but you have to trust that our first attempt, right, is to do no harm, right? That's our first go-to. And once you find your right provider, I think you'll be very happy.
Great. I like that. Just so crazy now, because I heard not so long ago, like, how artificial sweeteners are bad, are even worse than the sugar that we consume.
I heard that too. Like, diet soda is worse for you than regular soda.
Yeah, I've heard that, and that's a shame because I'm a Coke Zero fiend.
I know. I like Coke Zero too.
Love it. Okay,
so it's just like, like, so you said, pick your battles. But
I love diet. But then it's funny, I didn't like Coke Zero for a while. And then I started drinking it more. I'm like, you know what? I kind of like this. And it just worked. But I mean, all sodas are bad. And let me tell you why. Because even if you don't have the sugar, fake or not, you still have phosphoric acid.
Right.
And that acid, again, breaks down our teeth and our bones. I hear it sucks out all of our good stuff from our bones as well. So it can make us more brittle, more prone to osteoporosis when you're older.
No.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't stop me. Like,
oh my God.
YOLO.
That doesn't stop me. Have you tried Ollipops? You don't like
Ollipops?
Ollipop.
The soda?
It's a
yes. Yeah.
alternative. The crisp apple though.
Okay, maybe I need to try different
tastes
flavor.
like straight up apple juice.
Really?
But it's so much better for you.
Okay.
Lollipop.
Or you could be like, I swear, growing up, to make it less sugary, mom just added water. still the same. She just diluted it with water.
Oh, I do that.
You know, so you think, oh, it's
yes.
better because it's
that is
less.
mom coded.
That's so mom, right? It's
Ooh.
like, but I mean, well, it depends on how much, right? So like if you are going to give 2 ounces and you do half and half, technically you're giving less sugar.
I get a small cup and she wants lemonade. I give half lemonade and half
That's
water.
very good. You know what my mom used to do when
Huh.
we were kids? She said, as much water you'll drink, that's how much soda you can have.
Yep.
I'm like, ew, I don't want
Ooh.
water. So you drink a little bit of water, so we got a little bit of soda.
I like
We didn't drink our
that.
water first. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want that. Or
Oh my
Kool-Aid or anything else. Do kids still drink
gosh.
Kool-Aid? Is that a
I don't
thing? No, it's not a thing.
know.
Is that
Not
a
my
thing,
I don't know what their
right?
thing is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back
I
in my
really-
day.
Capri Sun, maybe is their thing.
Capri Sun. Oh,
What's
those
their thing, Grayson? What are your
rich
boys
kids.
drink?
We do apple juice.
Apple juice.
I love apple juice.
Propel.
Oh, Propel.
Yeah.
That's clever.
We really try to be careful. Like if I swear, if we didn't have kids, like probably nothing would have changed. But like now that we have kids, we really try to be careful what we feed them.
That's so good.
Mhm.
That's
That is-
wonderful.
I didn't.
I was never like
have
that. Never like that.
No,
I
But
I
love
think-
that.
My daughter, probably for the first 6 years of her life, was like dino chicken nuggets and mini corn dogs.
oh, I mean,
fries and
That was
we're
my
we're
brother.
there.
so like I don't like
The only thing I can
I
control is her what she
blend-
drinks.
Yeah, I blend my own
And that's
baby food
like
from
more
the
than half the battle.
garden. Like those moms, I'm
For
so
sure.
impressed. I'm like, no. The ones who say that, I'm like, wow. I'm like, no.
They blend.
They get their own little blenders.
Like make their
Uh-huh.
own baby food.
from
Oh.
the garden that they made with
Oh,
no
yeah.
pesticides, and they
Mhm.
get their squash and their,
It's
and they,
so
Quinoa.
amazing.
and yeah, I'm like, I'm glad you have 12 hours to do that for a baby who's just
Yeah.
gonna spit it up in 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, God bless. Again,
See, that's a whole other topic that we can go into.
oh, completely.
But I think to wrap up this
Mhm.
very informative episode, what are some practical tips that we can leave for our families on the topic of fluoride, but also just general oral health that they need to take with them?
Okay, well, when it comes to oral health, prevention is best,
Mhm.
right? We always want to prevent issues. What does that mean? We got to change what we eat in the sense that we don't want too high of sugar, not because it's just bad for our overall health, but because it can cause cavities. Because remember, the sugar mixes with bacteria and makes an acid. Having acid anywhere is not good, right? I mean, that's why it's protected in areas like our stomach.
Yeah.
And it
Mhm.
breaks down food. So when you know what acid does, why would we want that in our mouth?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we want to be sure we brush often. And often means in the morning when we wake up, midday, I mean after lunch or after your midday snack, and then before you go into sleep. We want to drink more water because water keeps, cleaning out our mouth.
Mhm.
We want to do things that keep our saliva healthy and to keep the flow. So if certain medications cause your mouth to dry out, talk to your doctor about that. Mouthwash, if you like it, you can use it, not use it. Some people love it, some don't. For me, it's just like a minty rinse, really
Yeah.
is what it does. Don't be afraid of fluoride. That's going to be my movement right there as a dental professional. Don't be afraid of fluoride. It is in limited concentrations or in safe concentrations, but do your homework and whatever works for you and your family, make that choice and it will be respected by the right healthcare provider.
Oh, beautiful. I
There
love
you
that.
go. Period.
Period.
Well, thank you, Dr. Martinez, for
Yes,
joining
thank
us this
you.
episode. I feel like we really brought an understanding light to everything, and I know we're leaving with a ton of what we can do to better our own oral health and understanding fluoride and everything that we see on the screens.
Team Fluoride.
Well, I'm glad I was able to answer any questions, and feel free to always ask questions.
Yes, for sure. So for our viewers here, if you have any questions for Dr. Martinez, whether it's about fluoride or oral health in general, drop them below in our comments. We are also on Spotify if you missed that announcement.
Yes.
So follow us on Spotify. You can hear everything on the go. You don't have to just watch the video. And then just stay tuned for more episodes.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.